Busan has been enacted. Busan Metropolitan Council passed the Busan Metropolitan City Foreign Resident Support Ordinance, Comprehensive Revision Ordinance, at the 319th temporary session. It aims to support foreign residents settling in Busan for purposes like studying, employment, and investment amidst population decline. Busan City enacted an ordinance outlining duties for preventing major accidents due to the expanded scope under the Major Accidents Punishment Act. Busan Metropolitan Council passed the Busan Metropolitan City Ordinance on the prevention and management of major accidents during the 319th temporary session. It aims to focus on prevention and local government responsibilities, contrasting it with the punitive nature of existing legislation like the Major Accidents Punishment Act. Time for international news. On March 17th local time, the United States government strongly condemned North Korea's ballistic missile launch into the East Sea. They reaffirmed their commitment to defending South Korea and highlighted the threat to regional security. The U.S. State Department emphasized the violations of United Nations Security Council resolutions and reiterated diplomatic efforts with North Korea. Additionally, they expressed unwavering support for South Korea and Japan. South Korean authorities detected the suspected short-range ballistic missile launch from Pyongyang at 7:44 a.m. on the 18th Korea time. Time now for the weather. It is currently 12 degrees Celsius and clear. It will average around 10 degrees this evening. A dry weather advisory is in effect in the Busan area. That's all we have time for this hour's news. Thanks for listening. You're listening to BEFM, 부산영어방송.
Your best choice. BEFM, 부산영어방송.
Coming up next is For Your Busan with David Kim. BEFM, 부산영어방송.
1, 2, 3, 4.
진짜 아닙니다. 정말 괜찮습니다. In Korea, when you compliment someone or suggest something good, you often encounter common responses that make you wonder, are they genuinely rejecting the offer? Feeling inadequate? Or simply being humble? You know, finding someone to boast to without seeming insensitive is challenging. Perhaps because humility is highly valued. Yet, if you have something worth boasting about, why not present it in a way that earns respect? Take Busan, for example. The city has embarked on a new plan to divide it into 6 living zones, each with customized city planning tailored to its unique characteristics and evolving urban landscape. It's time to showcase Busan to the world, ensuring a brighter future for the city. Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is David Kim, and welcome to For Your Busan. Let's kick it off with The Sweet Escape by Gwen Stefani.
Treating you this way, 'cause I've been acting like sour milk all on the floor. It's your fault you didn't shut the refrigerator. Maybe that's the reason I've been acting so cold. If I could escape and recreate a place that's my own world, and I could be your favorite girl forever, perfectly together. And tell me, boy, now wouldn't that be sweet? If I could be sweet, I know I've been come help me out. I need to get me out of this joint. Come on, let's bounce. Counting on you to turn me around. Instead of clowning around, let's look for some common ground. So baby, time's getting a little crazy. I've been getting a little lazy, waiting you to come save me. I can see that you're angry by the way that you treat me. Hopefully you don't leave me. Wanna take you with me. I could escape and recreate a place that's my own world. And I could be your favorite girl forever, perfectly together. And tell me, boy, now wouldn't that be sweet? If I could be sweet. I know I've been a real bad girl. I didn't mean for you to get hurt. We can make it better. And tell me, boy, now wouldn't that be sweet? If I could escape, if I could escape, 'cause I've been acting like sour milk all on the floor. It's your fault you didn't shut the refrigerator. Maybe that's the reason I've been acting so cold. If I could escape and recreate a place that's my own world, and I could be your favorite girl forever, perfectly together. And tell me, boy, now wouldn't that be sweet? If I could be sweet. I know I've been a real bad girl. I didn't mean for you to get hurt. We can make it better. And tell me, boy, now wouldn't that be sweet?
I wanna get away to our sweetest days. I wanna get away,
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to For Your Busan. This is David Kim. Now, Busan is a big city with 15 districts, one county covering a huge area. And even folks who live here might not have seen it all. And most people stick to their own neighborhoods or nearby tourist spots, so the city's development isn't spread out evenly. But now Busan's come up with a new plan to fix that. They've split the city into 6 zones, so each part can grow in its own way. And this should help make Busan a place everyone wants to live in again. First off, the Gangsa zone will focus on developing transportation-related industries and high-tech research areas around the new international airport and Eco Delta City. Then the Gangdong zone, covering Bukgu and Sahagu, will upgrade infrastructure through urban renewal projects and provide spaces for startups and small businesses. And there's also the central downtown zone. That includes Junggu and Donggu, aiming to become an international business hub, especially around the North Port redevelopment and Munhyun Financial Center. Meanwhile, the Haeundae zone wants to be known for lifestyle, entertainment, and tourism. And so with these plans in mind, visitors to any part of Busan can experience the unique features of each area. 네, 오늘은 여러분의 동네 자랑을 좀 들어볼까 합니다. 아마 부산을 포함해서 전국의 다양한 곳에 청취자분들이 살고 계실 텐데요. 다들 어떤 동네에 살고 계신가요? Today's text topic is about bragging how good your neighborhood is. 오늘은 여러분 동네의 자랑거리를 문자로 받아보고 있습니다. 여러분이 살고 있는 동네의 가장 큰 자랑거리는 무엇인가요? What's the best part of your neighborhood? Why do you like where you live? So tell us, brag and tell us about the place you are in. If you live in maybe 동래구 area, tell us why you like 동래구 so much. In a particular, maybe Angnakdong area, why you like it so much. Tell us that. To send in messages, you can direct them to pound 9050, 샵 9050. 100원의 이용료가 있고요. You can also join us and listen to us via our app, smartphone app called BEFM, 부산영어방송 app. You can also text us by adding us as a friend. 부산영어방송 친구 추가하시고 저희랑 소통도 가능하고요. Or join us live on YouTube. We are streaming live right now, so come join us, say hi in the live chat box, and we can communicate there. Now, throughout the show, we have two halves. In the first half, we have Busan Is coming up. We get to get updated on all the news and information with regards to Busan City with our 6 p.m. news anchor Hong Dang coming in. We also have DJ, which is short for David's Journal, and Discover What Caught My Eye today. It's our chance to share innovative and creative sparks with you, igniting inspiration and curiosity. We also have Busan Hot Places. This is a segment where we take you on a journey through Busan, showcasing the city's most exciting events, perhaps must-see attractions and vibrant activities. Our reporter Ko Min-ji will bring these experiences to you, highlighting what makes Busan the place to be. In the second half, we have On the Mic, Busan's Tale, and, of course, our quiz time. 네, 오늘도 문자, 카카오톡, 그리고 노트북 라이브 댓글로 참여해 주신 분들께 선물이 기다립니다. Tune in for the next 2 hours, and you could perhaps even win a prize or two if you participate for messaging, for quiz segments, what have you. Let's go right into our first segment, Busan Is, after a quick break.
Stay connected to Busan's rhythm with For Your Busan, airing daily from 4:05 to 6 p.m. Blending your friends' voices with the latest information and news from our vibrant city.
Kicking off today's first segment, Busan Is, we have none other than our daily reporter, Hong Dang in the studio. She's going to give us updates on what's happening in Busan news-wise and information-wise. Your stand isn't working today, Hong Dang.
안녕하십니까.
안녕하세요. How are you doing?
네, 월요일입니다. 기분 좋은 월요일.
네.
네, 데이빗은 주말 또 바쁘게 움직이셨나요?
I've been pretty busy. I actually went up to Seoul. Can you give me the stand? I'll try to fix it for you.
아, 땡큐. 감사합니다.
You're welcome. There we go.
네.
Yeah.
감사합니다. 친절도 하셔라.
How was your weekend?
네, 가족들이 서울에서 부산으로 내려와서
Oh, really?
네네, 가족들과 즐거운 시간을 보냈는데
Oh, nice.
서울에서 올 때 그 가족들의 옷의 두께. 아우 더워.
Yeah. So I told you on the
그랬어요?
weekend I was in Seoul. It was
네.
chilly there.
네네.
It's a lot colder there than here.
그래도 바람이 좀 불어서 아침 저녁으로는 쌀쌀했지만 부산도 주말부터 정말 봄이었잖아요.
그죠?
네, 너무나 따뜻한 그런 시기라서 아주 자랑을 많이 했습니다.
Yes.
우리 동네 자랑이 오늘의 토픽이었는데 부산 자랑, 이 전체적인 날씨 자랑에 막 개나리, 진달래도 피고 목련 뭐 예전에 폈지 뭐.
Yeah, spring flowers are definitely here. Then speaking of, bragging
네.
where you live, which gu do you live in? 홍당당?
네, 자.
Which
오늘
gu?
구?
Yeah.
제가 어느
군.
군. 저는 구군.
Yeah, why do you like your area? Tell us why you like your neighborhood. Today's text topic.
일단 저는
Yeah.
무엇이 좋냐를 물어보기 전에 무엇이 나쁘냐라고 물어보면 할 말이 없다. 이렇게 대답할게요.
Okay.
다 좋다.
You don't know how to brag. You don't know what to say about where you live, but there's
네.
no complaints.
네, 정말 없어요.
That's the best compliment you can
네.
give, really.
이웃들이 보고 계시나? 듣고 계시겠죠?
All right.
다 만족합니다. 네, 여러분.
Let's go right into our first news then.
네, 자 금정구 자랑이 또 되겠네요. 익명의 후원자에게 받은 대 기부금이 있는데 이 금정구가 주민들을 위한 사업에 모두 사용하기로 했습니다. 금정구는 지역 주민을 돕기 위한 하이파이브 사업을 실시하는데요. 이 사업은 교육과 주거 등 경제적 부담으로 위기 상황에 놓인 아동, 장애인, 홀몸 어르신 등을 적극 발굴해 지원하는 것입니다. 세부 지원 사업으로는 초중고등학생 신학기 교육비 지원, 또 시설 퇴소아동 자립준비금 지원, 관내 사회복지시설 수급자 지원, 홀로 어르신 생계 지원, 또 구와 동단위 지역 특성에 맞는 특화 사업비 등 5가지 분야가 추진되는데요. 금정구에는 지난해 12월 익명의 한 어르신이 도움에 필요한 이웃을 위해 써달라고 2억 원을 기부하셨습니다.
Awesome stuff. So Kumjeonggu District in Busan has announced the initiation of the High Five project, utilizing a significant anonymous donation to benefit local residents, particularly children, disabled individuals, and elderly living alone facing economic hardships. The project aims to support various areas such as education expenses, independent living funds for children, social welfare facility recipients, livelihood support for elderly living alone, and specialized projects for district characteristics. A budget of 200 million won has been allocated for this project.
네, 따뜻한 기부 정말 감사합니다. 자, 부산시는 오늘부터 27일까지 2024년 청년 커뮤니티 활동 지원 사업 참여팀을 모집합니다. 이 사업은 다양한 청년 활동 기반을 조성하고 사회 참여를 활성화시키기 위해서 청년의 공통 관심사를 바탕으로 지원하는 사업인데요. 시는 재능 기부와 자원봉사를 목적으로 활동하는 재능 기부형 15팀, 또 공동체형, 스터디형, 자율형 이렇게 39팀을 선정할 예정입니다.
Yes, Busan City is inviting teams, individuals, and groups to join the 2024 Youth Community Activity Support Project from March the 18th until 27th. That's today until the 27th. And this initiative promotes diverse youth activities and social engagement through supporting projects based on common interests.
네, 부산시는 오늘부터 잠재력 있는 골목을 부산의 대표 상권으로 발전시키는 골목 상권 활성화 지원 사업 신청을 받습니다. 올해로 3년 차를 맞는 이 사업은 개성 있는 콘텐츠를 가진 골목 상권 소상공인의 조직화를 도와서 상권이 자생할 수 있도록 지원하고 있는데요. 신청 대상은 지역 내 골목 상권 소상공인 30명 이상으로 구성된 골목 상권 공동체입니다.
Right, beginning today, Busan City opens the applications for the Alley Marketplace Vitalization Support Project, now in its third year. The project aims to transform select alleys into Busan's iconic marketplaces, assisting small business owners and fostering unique marketplace communities.
네, 오늘 사하구 신평역사 2층에 자리 잡고 있는데 서부 노인보호 전문기관 개관식이 열렸습니다. 서부 노인보호 전문기관은 노인학대 예방과 노인 인권 보호를 위한 기관인데요. 부산사회서비스원이 위탁받아서 24시간 노인학대 사례 신고 접수, 현장조사, 노인학대 예방교육, 또 지역사회 네트워크 구축 등 다양한 사업을 추진할 예정입니다. 복지부는 노인학대가 매년 증가하고 있고 또 매년 늘어나는 신고와 현황을 발표하고 있는데 가해자 대부분이 가족이라는 충격적인 통계까지 뒤따르고 있습니다. 부산시는 기존 중부권과 동부권에 이어 서부권에도 전문적이고 체계적인 노인학대 대응 기반을 마련하게 됐다고 밝혔습니다.
So Busan City today celebrated the opening of the West Busan Senior Protection Agency located at the second floor of the Sinpyeong Station History Building in Saha District. It's managed by the Busan Social Service Agency and it's dedicated to preventing elder abuse and safeguarding the rights of seniors. It offers services such as 24-hour reporting of elder abuse cases, on-site investigations, prevention education, and community network building.
네, 오는 3월 22일은 유엔이 정한 세계 물의 날입니다. 부산시 상수도 사업본부는 세계 물의 날을 기념해 오는 22일 오후 부산시청 국제회의장에서 기념식을 가질 예정인데요. 물 환경 보전 유공자 13명의 표창에 이어서 퍼포먼스와 LED 공연이 마련되고요. 물 한 잔이 운명을 바꾼다는 주제로 물이 건강에 미치는 중요성에 대해 이계호 충남대학교 명예교수의 강연이 이어집니다. 장수도사업본부는 오늘 22일 부산 시민공원에서 수돗물 정수 처리 과정을 시연하는 찾아가는 순수 365 음수차 홍보 행사도 마련할 예정입니다.
So to mark World Water Day on March the 22nd, Busan will host several events. The Busan Waterworks Authority will hold a ceremony at the International Conference Hall of Busan City Hall, honoring 13 individuals for their contributions to water environment preservation. The event will feature performances and LED shows, along with a lecture by Professor Lee Ge-ho of Chungnam National University titled "A Glass of Water Can Change Your Destiny."
네, 부산시에서 오늘부터 선불형 동백 패스가 본격적으로 시작됐는데요. 도시철도 서면역과 시청역, 연산역, 대연교차로, 서면교차로 등 시내 15개 지역에서 대중교통 이용 활성화 홍보 캠페인이 오늘 열렸습니다. 선불형 동백 패스는 동백전 선불카드에 교통요금을 충전하고 월 4만 5천 원을 초과 이용했을 때 동백전 환급 혜택을 주는 제도입니다. 그동안 사용이 좀 어려웠던 저신용자 또 외국인을 포함해서 만 18세 이상 시민이면 누구나 발급받을 수 있습니다. 카드는 동백전 앱이나 부산은행에서 신청할 수 있고 요금 충전은 편의점과 도시철도역, 이즈 충전소 앱을 통해 가능합니다. 또 부산시는 하반기 중에는 대상 범위를 청소년까지 확대한다는 계획입니다.
Yes, so today Busan City launched the prepaid Dongbek Pass alongside a promotional campaign aimed at boosting public transportation usage across 15 areas of the city. Now, this pass allows users to preload transportation fares on their Dongbekjeon prepaid card with a refund benefit for monthly usage exceeding 45,000 won.
네, 부산 현대미술관이 봄꽃이 피는 이 봄 계절을 맞아서 전시 3개를 동시에 개막했습니다. 부산 현대미술관은 최근 사회적 이슈로 떠오른 관종을 주제로 한 국제기획전 능수능란한 관종전을 7월 7일까지 연다고 밝혔는데요. 방송에 저는 관종이라는 단어를 쓰는 건 처음입니다. 네, 다소 파격적이고 좀 과격한 주제가 아닐까라는 평도 있는데 이 전시가 이 동시대 미술에 나타나는 여러 층위의 관종, 관심 플러스 종자 이런 단어인데 이를 통해서 과거부터 현재까지 이어지는 관심의 역사에 대해서 탐구하고 또 관심과 관종이라는 현상이 우리 일상에 얼마나 뿌리내리고 있는지를 미술적으로 조망한 그런 기획전인데요. 이번 전시에는 작가와 비평가, 큐레이터, 연구자 등 국내외 23개 팀이 참여해서 조각과 사진, 영상, 비평, 연구, 아카이브 자료 등 다양한 분야의 작품 136점을 선보일 예정입니다.
So to celebrate the arrival of spring, the Busan Museum of Modern Art has inaugurated 3 exhibitions simultaneously, and among them is the international curated exhibition titled Fluidly Obsessed, focusing on the contemporary issue of obsession. And running until July the 7th, the exhibition delves into various layers of obsession in contemporary art, tracing its history and impact on daily life.
네. 자, 봄입니다. 그렇죠. 네, 어제 분명히 피지 않았던 꽃들이 오늘 고개를 들고 저를 봤어요. 어제 없었잖아. 네. 겨울 내내
Peekaboo.
있었네.
There you are.
여기 있어요.
How are you doing, flowery?
어머, 꽃 같은데요. 네, 나태주 시인이 봄이라는 시에서 만지지 마세요. 바라보기만 하세요. 그저 봄입니다. 라고 노래했거든요.
봄 means
네.
I saw.
네. 이 봄의 어원이 네. 보다.
네.
눈으로 이렇게 본다. 네. 보다의 명사형인 봄에서 왔다는 설이 좀 유력해요. 새롭게 바라볼 것들이 많고 또 해도 일찍 뜨니까 많이 보고 많이 튀어오르고 그렇게 봄을 만끽하라고 아마 태양도 도와주는 것이 아닐까. 그래서 많이 보고 많이 느끼는 그런 봄 되시기 바랍니다.
Thank you so much. Yes, a lot of flowers to see in the next few days, few weeks, right? So spring, you can really feel it here. It's definitely getting warmer. Really looking forward to the next couple of weeks coming soon. Thank you so much for coming in today.
네, 내일도 봄인데 또 봄에 또 오겠습니다. 감사합니다.
네, I'll see you tomorrow. So that was Hong Dang with us, giving us news updates and what's happening around the city with some information updates as well. You are listening to For Your Busan, and I am your host, David Kim. Today's text topic, you have to tell us why you like the area you live in. Tell us about your gu or gun and why you like it there. It's time for you to brag about this wonderful place, wonderful neighborhood you are living in. We've got a message from Jenny님 on YouTube Live saying 저는 연제구에 살다가 기장 정관에 이사 온 지 10년째 되었는데 집 앞에 좌광천이 흐르고 공원도 많고 바다도 가까워서 너무 좋아요. 평균 연령이 낮은 게 특징이고 아이들을 키우기엔 최적화된 도시입니다. 특히 멋진 카페도 많고 봄의 벚꽃이 너무 예뻐서 매일매일 꽃놀이랍니다. Jenny님 really, we can see and I can tell that she really loves the neighborhood she lives in. I think she wanted to write more about this area, but she cut it really short. Because I can really see it. I can really see that she really loves this area, this neighborhood. Would love to check out. I'm not so familiar with Jeongwan area, to be honest, because it's really far from where I live. I feel like it's like on the other side of Busan, you know? It's same thing with like Sinpyeong area, in the Myeongji area. Those two areas are so far from where I live, but I would love to check out some of these great places because every time I talk to someone from these areas, they say their neighborhood is the best neighborhood. So I'm really curious why they think that way. So, to know, you have to go check it out yourself, right? So tell us why you like your neighborhood so much. Maybe the pros, only the pros, but if you want to tell us the cons, that's okay too. All right. We're going to take a little song break and we'll be right back to continue on with the show. This is Holidays by Meghan Trainor.
Can you turn it up just a little bit?
It's a celebration. Get ready for the holidays. It's a celebration. So baby, don't you stop. You got that look in your eyes. Call me for help, we can vibe. Let's have the time of our lives. You can feel it. You can feel it. Even if you dance alone, you deserve a cheers. 'Cause you
It is time for DJ David's Journal. Dear Diary, these days as the weather warms up, lots of people are out walking. Some are alone, others with friends or family. Just the other day, I saw a family pushing a stroller. But instead of a baby, there was a dog inside. And it seemed a bit odd at first, but it's becoming more common in Korea. Originally, strollers for babies are called yumocha in Korean. But now there's a new kind called gemocha, which means dog stroller. And they're selling more than baby stroller these days. Last year, 57% of strollers sold were for pets, while only 43% were for babies. And this shift is probably because fewer babies are being born and more people are getting pets. In Korea, there are around 6.02 million households, and 25.4% of them have dogs or cats, totaling over 10 million people. With such a large number of pets, it's no surprise that dog stroller sales are going up. People see their pets as part of their family and want to take care of them. But some worry about what it means if pet strollers are outselling baby strollers. It seems to show that fewer people are having babies, which is concerning for some. Experts say this trend isn't just about money. It's also about how younger people think. They care more about their own happiness and values, and that influences their decisions. It's a natural change that happens as society evolves and new values become important, especially those focusing on personal lives. As for spotting pet strollers during tonight's walk, who knows? Maybe you'll see quite a few. It seems like they're becoming more and more common these days. And that was DJ David's Journal. We're going to take a quick song break. This is Manic Monday by the Bangles.
I
You are now listening to For Your Busan with David Kim. Stay tuned every day from 4:05 to 6 p.m. for more.
Welcome back to For Your Busan. We now have Minji in the studio for Busan Hot Places.
Let's go.
How are ya?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. You're so pink today.
I am so pink today.
Yeah, you got a pink hat. So those of you who are not tuned into our YouTube live, you can't see Minji's awesome fashion, pink fashion. But if you still don't want to come and see Minji's fashion today, I'll describe it to you guys. She has this pink hat on with pink and black earrings on and a pink shirt on with a blue jean type dress thing on and a pink jacket on. Can you describe your fashion?
Oh, my fashion today.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So here's rationale behind this. Last week I was wearing this like very red lips. And my dad thought that it's giving ajumma.
Ajumma vibe?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
really?
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be cuter.
Oh,
and then this
okay.
hat says baby girl. And the jacket, I don't know, it's like a nice spring vibe. So I figured I should wear pink.
It's like a little preview of the cherry blossom trees that are about to bloom in Busan.
Oh, that's such a beautiful interpretation. I love that.
We've got a compliment from Jenny-님 saying 귀여워요. So we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that.
Jenny-님, thank you. Leave it at that? What? Okay.
We'll leave it at that because we're not here to talk about your fashion, but we're here to talk about hot places in Busan.
Exactly. So I went to 감천 문화마을 to visit Busan Education History Museum. This museum opened exactly 1 week ago on March 11th. So I'm like, you know what? I should go there for the listeners.
Oh, okay. So Busan Education History Museum, you're going to be telling us about this today.
Yes, but before that, have you gone to 감천 문화마을?
Yeah, I've been there 3 times-ish my whole life. The last time I went was about 2 years ago. And if I recall, the buildings colors, some of the colors had your fashion colors.
Yeah, it's like a pastel,
Yeah,
pink,
blue, green.
with the murals.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Is that what inspired you to wear this color today? Maybe.
Let's say that, yes. I think so.
All right. So it kicked off last week, a week ago, and it's open all day, every day?
It opens from Tuesday to Sunday from 9 to 12 p.m. and 2 to 5 p.m.
Lunch break for 2 hours. Okay. And I heard you got some interview clips.
I did. So let's hear an interview clip with the director of the museum, Ms. 도기옥.
자기소개 한번 부탁드릴게요.
예, 부산광역시교육청 부산교육역사관 도기옥입니다.
부산교육역사관 간단하게 소개 부탁드리겠습니다.
부산시 교육청에서 설립한 우리 부산교육역사관은 2004년부터 부산 교육 관련 유물을 수집해서 왔습니다. 그 유물들을 연구하고 복원해서 과거를 경험하고 미래를 상상하는 교육문화 공간을 제공하기 위해서 설립이 되었습니다.
부산교육역사관을 방문하시는 분들이 이거는 꼭 보고 갔으면 좋겠다 하는 거 있으실까요?
상설 전시실 1, 2, 3으로 되어 있고 또 독도 체험관도 있고 기획 전시로 100년이 된 학교들 39개도 전시가 되어 있습니다. 이왕이면 해설사님들의 해설과 그 AR 체험까지 다 했으면 좋겠다는 생각이 듭니다. 그 체험을 하고 가신 분들은 만족도가 아주 높습니다.
So if you're watching us or tuned in via YouTube Live, you can see some of the pictures that Minji took as she went through the museum herself last week. And on the first screen, we have a tablet showing a cartoon image. What's that about?
Just to wrap up the interview, so she explains how the museum has different elements, including the AR experience. And then this tablet is part of the AR experience where people go play some sort of like games to learn about historical facts.
Oh, okay, so it's very interactive. It's for kids to better have fun while learning right?
Exactly.
Okay, good stuff. And we've also got Choi Suk-nim tuning in today saying good afternoon. Welcome to the show. Long time no see. And said, I would like to visit Kamcheon Munamaul this spring. I feel like that's a great decision to make because Kamcheon Munamaul, while it's beautiful 24/7, 365 days all throughout the year, it might look even more beautiful during spring when the flowers on the trees kind of bloom and blossom, right?
Yeah. Also from the Busan Education History Museum, the view of Kamcheon Munamaul from the museum is really beautiful.
I bet.
Yeah, it was like kind of in the like uphill part of it, and it was definitely like the view itself is also worth visiting.
Yeah.
And then the museum used to be a school, so it has like a school. How do you call it? Structure, and it's like it's very interesting with the architecture itself.
Okay, cool. All right, so it's it might seem familiar just to walk in and walk around because it's a school, you know?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, this is like 3학년 floor. Like we're going up to 4학년 floor.
Oh, okay. So do all schools have like 6 floors?
It's been a while since I went to elementary. It's been a while.
All right. Anywho, you went to check out this museum and they had the AR experience section. Tell us more about this place.
So I actually have an audio clip from the AR exhibit. So I think we can listen to that.
All right, let's do that.
네, 지금부터 AR 체험하실 건데 요거 설명 그대로 따라가시면 여기 있는 모든 유물과 설명 모두 한 번에 이해하실 수 있도록 준비했습니다. 네, 미션 시작하기를 누르시면 여기 벽면에 곳곳에 이렇게 QR코드가 숨어 있습니다. 네, 맞는 위치에 가셔서 QR코드를 인식하시면 여러분들이 독립운동이라는 미션을 수행하실 수 있습니다. 설명 잘 따라가셔서 미션을 수행해 주시면 되겠습니다.
이동을 이렇게 하면 지가 바뀝니까?
네, 이거를 계속 이렇게 하면서 읽어주시면 됩니다.
게임 같은 거네요.
네, 게임 맞아요. 게임 비슷하다고 생각하시면 되겠습니다.
Okay, so you have to basically have your phone camera on too, right? Because you gotta scan for QR codes too.
So they provide tablet PC, and then you can scan the QR code with the tablet.
Oh, nice. So wow, I guess they have a lot of tablet PCs then.
They do. Actually, the PCs were kind of heavy. So it was so the ones that I took the tour with, they were about like a little older than my dad, I think like 60s. And then they'd be like, nah, I can't do this. It's too heavy.
Because it's too heavy.
Yeah.
Oh, but it kind of provides you an engaging way to learn the Busan history. And I bet it's really popular among students.
I bet, yeah, I think so. Because like it reminded me of the computer games that I used to play. I don't know if you were a gamer when you were young, but
what's this game?
I used to play this game called Princess Maker. And it's like you're raising a girl and you want to make her a princess. It's the kind of
make her wear all pink, right?
Okay. Yes.
Right.
And then you let her go on dates.
Wow.
You take her to like schools. If you take her to schools too many times, she becomes a teacher. It's a whole game. But
I see.
I went off tangents. But anyways, like this game at the museum was also a really cool and like engaging way to learn.
Okay. Well, tell us the timeline of the history. Do you learn from like the dinosaur era to like the present era, or what's the era like?
From the early 20th until almost contemporary.
So early 20th century until present day.
Until like starting from the Japanese colonial period.
I see. And I also heard that you got some clips of you interviewing visitors there.
Yes. So let's hear it out.
성함과 어디 사시는지 소개 부탁드리겠습니다.
학장동에 사는 정혜인이라고 합니다.
부산교육역사관 어떻게 오시게 되셨어요?
매번 정기적으로 이렇게 모임을 갖고 산행을 하든지 부산에 안 가본데 한 달에 한 번씩 날을 잡아갖고 다니는데 오늘의 주제는 감천 문화마을 역사관이 개관을 한다는 얘기를 들어서 구경하러 왔습니다.
네, 오늘 전시 보셨는데 어떤 걸 보셨어요?
옛날 생각이 참 많이 났고 성장 배경하고 비슷하기 때문에 우리 나이 때 있는 사람들은 참 공감을 많이 한다고 그래 생각이 들어요.
오늘 전시에서 가장 기억에 남는 부분이라던가 아니면 배운 점?
배움이란 거에 대한 거 이런 걸 좀 다시 하는 생각하게 됐어요. 어릴 때는 부모님이 학교를 보내줘서 다니고 그냥 쭉쭉 학교를 졸업하고 또 그다음 진학을 하고 이래 됐는데 나보다 앞서간 사람들은 그게 절실함 이런 것들이 가득 묻어난 좀 스토리가 아니었었나 이렇게 개인적으로 그렇게 생각합니다.
Wow, so he definitely had a great time at the museum because it kind of like brought up good old memories for him.
Exactly. Because the exhibit covers the contemporary history, so I even got to relate. I was seeing these like textbooks that I used to do, like 바른 생활, 슬기로운 생활, and it's just you see the history of how the education system has built throughout almost 100 years.
Oh, I see. So it brings you back memories and it kind of like take you back to good old days when you used to learn through textbooks and things like that.
And then at the end of the exhibit, they ask, what is education to you? And then it becomes very, it becomes very reflective because like education, we take it for granted, I feel like almost. But back then it was so difficult to find quality education.
Okay. I'm glad you got to learn something out of that as well.
I did.
There's also a picture on our YouTube live feed. What is that picture? Is it miniature figures of people studying in classrooms?
Yeah, I think that was also like back then in the Japanese colonial period and how like some people were had to like find small spaces to get education. It's like a little study group.
I see. It looks like how I would be, teaching maybe kids.
That's
tutoring.
you crying, doing
yeah,
crying.
like a tutor class, right? It doesn't, because it doesn't look like a classroom per se, because they're all sitting down on a square table.
I mean, like having a school itself was also a privilege back then.
I see.
So I think that's what they're trying to illustrate.
Okay, very good stuff. You have one more clip?
I did an interview. We have an interview with the education researcher of the museum.
네, 안녕하세요. 저는 부산 교육역사관 교육연구사 김유경입니다.
교육 프로그램 만들고 하실 때 어떤 부분에 가장 중점을 두고 하셨는지.
학생들에게 조금 재미없게 다가갈 수 있을 것 같아서 흥미있게 이 역사를 배우고 그리고 지역 역사라든지 이런 것들을 조금 더 배우면서 지역의 정체성이라든지 이런 애향심이라든지 이런 것들을 느낄 수 있도록 그런 부분들을 신경 썼습니다.
부산교육역사관에서 꼭 이거 보고 가셨으면 좋겠다 하는 거 있나요?
저희 역사관은 사실 사전 예약제로 진행을 하고 있습니다. 미리 한번 꼭 예약을 하셔서 이 1, 2, 3실 속에 있는 다양한 콘텐츠들을 직접 꼭 경험하고 가셨으면 좋겠다는 생각이 듭니다.
Okay, so one important thing she noted was you can't just blindly go and visit this place. You have to make a reservation.
Yes, because the exhibit has you gotta to fully experience the exhibit. You gotta be listening to the curator. I mean, not the curator. How's it called? Docent.
The museum
the tour,
guides.
yes.
Okay.
And then the AR experience and all that. So you have to make a reservation on the website of Busan Education Office.
Okay, so something to keep in mind if you really want to go check it out. Maybe like Choi Suk-nim, who texted in earlier saying, I would like to visit Kamcheon Munamaul this spring. If you want to go check out this museum, make sure to go on to the Busan Education Office website and check the times because they're not open on Mondays. Tuesday to Sunday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Avoid the lunch hour, of course, and make a reservation for the tour. Okay, thank you so much for coming in today, telling us about the Busan Education History Museum, Minji. But before I let you go, I want you to tell us why you like where you live. So your area. So you live in Haeundae-gu area. Why you like your neighborhood? You have to brag and tell us why you like your neighborhood.
Why do I like my neighborhood?
Yeah.
I mean, Haeundae-gu is such a flex, like everyone knows Haeundae-gu.
Is that the only reason?
I mean, when I feel like, I don't know, I sound a little, anyways, Haeundae, people know Haeundae, even the ones who who don't live in Busan, and I feel like I'm living in a landmark, and I think that's a really cool part of it.
I see. All right, we'll just leave it at that.
What is a judgmental voice?
Yeah, I'm not going to contribute to what you said, but I mean, we're all entitled to our own opinions. So
Okay.
we'll just leave it at that. And thank you so much for today giving us updates on Busan Education and History Museum. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you, David.
All right, that was Minji with us for Busan Hot Places. We've got lots more coming your way in the second hour with segments like Busan Quiz Master and of course Busan's Tale 꼬.꼬.부 with Haley coming in to tell us interesting stories about Busan. We're going to take a song break to end the first hour. We'll be back at 5. This is I Guess I Just Feel Like by John Mayer.
Feel like nobody's honest, nobody's true. Everyone's lying to make it on through. I guess I just feel like I'm the same way too. I guess I just feel like good things are gone, and the weight of my worries is too much to take on. I think I remember the dream that I had, that love's gonna save us from a world that's gone mad. I guess I just feel like what happened to that? I guess I just feel like the joke's getting old. The future is fading, and the past is on hold. But I know that I'm open, and I know that I'm free. I'll always let hope in wherever I'll be. And if I go blind, I'd still find my way. I guess I just feel
부산의 축제 어디까지 즐겨보셨나요? 과거와 현재, 미래가 공존하는 항구도시 부산. 이곳 부산은 계절을 물들이는 다양한 축제로 늘 풍성합니다. 봄의 시작을 알리는 봄꽃 축제부터 부산의 여름을 만끽하는 바다축제, 전 세계 영화인들이 모이는 부산국제영화제와 새로운 시작의 해맞이 축제까지. 부산의 축제는 우리의 열정을 가득 담고 있습니다. 바쁜 일상은 잠시 뒤로 하고 특별한 시간을 선물 받는 바로 이곳 부산에서 우리의 삶은 축제가 됩니다. 축제로 하나 되는 부산, 여러분은 어떤 축제를 기다리시나요? 이 캠페인은 대선공익재단과 BFM 부산영어방송이 함께합니다.
Electric kickboards and electric bicycles are common on the streets these days. With the increased use of personal mobility devices, the number of accidents and deaths have reportedly increased significantly.
Personal mobility patrol mode.
I don't need to wear a safety helmet because I'm only riding a short distance.
Wear a safety helmet. When you drive your personal mobility devices, you have to wear a safety helmet.
Hey, I rented an electric kickboard. Let's ride it together.
Okay, you drive in the front, I'll get in the back.
Follow the number of passengers. Only one person can ride an electric kickboard and electric wheel parallel car.
Follow the rules of personal mobility devices and drive safely. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM 부산영어방송.
Welcome to Busan. Let me show you around. Here you can find the world's largest musical in-ground fountain and the world's only UN memorial cemetery. Stroll along the coast and explore the largest mountain fortress in Korea. As well as all this, there are so many tourist attractions, beautiful exhibitions, vibrant culture, convenient facilities, and delicious foods unique to Busan. With all the beauty and charm of the amazing city of Busan, you'll find yourself right at home in this ever-changing tourism paradise. So stay with us a while. Busan, your #1 tourist destination. Your home, away from home. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM, Busan 영어방송.
The time is now 5 o'clock.
포열 부산?
That's it. 포열 부산 아닙니까? There you go.
원래는 울산 사람이니까 포열 부산 내리죠 이렇게.
You're absolutely right.
포열 부산.
Perfect. 포열 부산.
Yes.
할까요? 포열 부산.
You're now listening to For Your Busan with me, David Kim.
All right, today we're going to talk to someone and find out about their life in Korea. Let's get to know them. Hi, what's your name? Can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Angela Jong, and I'm a Canadian who's been in Busan about, I don't know, maybe 12 years.
Tell us what first brought you to Busan.
Oh, Busan. I actually had a friend from high school who I hadn't seen in about 10 years who was teaching here in Busan. And I thought, I think I'm going to go see what she's doing there. And I loved it so much. I stayed. I interviewed at some schools, and I started a teaching job here as well.
You are so brave, and that's so adventurous. Before coming to Busan, have you been to any other countries or had any experience abroad?
I did do some study abroad when I was in my third year university. And actually, when I came to Busan, I'd already been living in Gangneung for about a year. So I had a little bit of experience with Korea. Gangneung and Busan have a totally different vibe, and I just found I'm going to be a big city girl. I like Busan.
How would you compare Gangneung to Busan?
Well, the weather in Gangneung is very similar to where I lived in Canada growing up, which surprised me. I had no idea it would be so cold and so snowy. And I love that there's no snow in Busan. And today it's 15 degrees, middle of March. This is great, sunny.
And tell everybody about the areas that you have lived in Busan and how you like those.
This may take a while. Okay, let's see. When I first came to Busan, I was in Seomyeon, downtown Seomyeon. living in a little office town with all my friends. We're in the same building, maybe 10 or 15 friends. It was really fun, pretty wild, but really fun. And then eventually, the longer I stayed, I moved to like a one-bedroom apartment in Daeyeon-dong. That was a little quieter. And then I moved to like a two-bedroom apartment in Namcheon-dong. Now, both of those apartments are like destroyed and they're like sky rises now. And now then I moved to Centum City and had an apartment there. And now I'm in Jangsan in like a family-friendly neighborhood. And this is where I'll stay for a while.
And you said family-friendly. Is that because you have a family now?
Yeah, I made a family here. That was not in the original plan, but I mean, it's just I guess it was in the long-term plan that I didn't know about. Yeah, I met a Korean guy actually when I pretty much had my bags packed ready to go back to Canada. But you know, that's how things happen. And we got married. We're having our 5-year anniversary next month, and we have a 4-year-old daughter.
Congratulations. So has your husband ever been to Canada, or had he had any experience dating foreigners before he met you?
Sure. Well, I don't know if he had experience dating foreigners. He kind of keeps that close to his chest. But he does have experience living abroad in Australia and the Philippines. That's where he studied English and also worked. And he's been to Canada after we got married. After getting married, we went for a honeymoon in Canada, and we went after our daughter was born as well for a few months.
And how has it been being a mother in Korea, or just being a mother in general?
Well, our daughter was born right like the week before COVID got really bad in Korea. So at the beginning, it was quite isolating, but I don't think it was just isolating for me. I think it was actually isolating for everybody. But that was challenging for the first couple years because I couldn't really make mom friends or like little baby friends. But the Korean daycare system is absolutely incredible. And I think they really helped with just like my mental health, raising a small baby, especially during COVID. Yeah, I do find there's a lot of support here, a lot of support. Now that COVID's kind of finished, it's a great place to raise kids in Busan.
And do you speak to your daughter in Korean or in English or a combination? And how did you decide to make those kind of parenting decisions?
Well, my husband and I, we speak English and Korean together. And my daughter speaks Korean at school. I speak Korean outside of the house generally. And in our house, we speak English. So English is kind of English-only zone. That's where she's still really little. That's where we read our English books and we have English conversations. But now that she's 4, she speaks English and Korean. And she corrects my Korean and she corrects her dad's English. So it's kind of all a bit of a mix. I think before she gets to grade 1, we'll kind of have to make it more strict, English only in home or outside. But right now, we just kind of mix them all together. It's okay.
And have you brought your daughter to Canada, or has your family come to Korea to meet your daughter?
Well, I think that's one of the reasons giving birth here was so awesome is because my mom actually came and my dad for her first 100 days. So while everyone was getting locked down, we were locked down in our house with an infant for 100 days. And yeah, my parents came here for that. They also came right before I got married for a couple months to get to know my husband, get to know our neighborhood, get to realize everything. We're doing okay here. We're fine here. And I have family visiting this spring as well.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Angela. And I hope you and your family have a wonderful spring. And thanks for your story.
Thanks so much. Go enjoy the cherry blossoms. They'll be out in a few days.
Thank you, Tegan, for the interview with Angela. And I've been to Gangneung a few times. It's a beautiful place. And I lived in Canada for a long time as well. And I miss snow. So whenever I go to Gangneung, it kind of brings me back memories of Canada as well. And if you like snow and maybe freezing temperatures, definitely go up to Gangneung to see even snow-covered sandy beaches too. And you know what? Last time I went was in last February, and I saw some awesome nature's own ice sculptures on the rocky shores of the Gangneung coastline. It was just so cool and amazing. But welcome to Busan, Angela, and I hope your life in Busan continues to be awesome and have a great time with your family coming to visit Busan. And welcome to For Your Busan. This is the second half of the show, and I am your host, David Kim. Now, today's text topic was for you to tell us why you like your neighborhood. 지금 사시는 동네가 왜 좋은지 저에게 문자, 카톡 보내주시는 게 오늘의 문자 주제입니다. So tell us why you like your neighborhood. We had some messages earlier today. 최숙님 saying, I like my neighborhood. It's close. It's really with the nature. I enjoy nature a lot, so I can go hiking whenever I have time, and the air is so crisp. Yeah, that's the beauty of Busan's certain neighborhoods. Some of the neighborhoods, especially up on the hills where there are a lot of trees, like maybe in the forest as well, just great air, right? And especially these days when there's fine dust coming in and out, moving around the city, and where some areas are polluted with fine dust or ultrafine dust, whatever, some areas are pristine. It's really nice. The air is crisp because you got lots of trees to protect you or filter out the fine dust for you, right? We've had 펭수 아빠님 tuning in as well saying, 여기 제주도는 오늘따라 후덥지근하네요. 제가 자주 가는 단골집은 소내장탕 집이나 this 국인데요. I don't know what that cook is, so I'm not gonna say it. But I think I can say it, right? 오늘은 그 두 개보다도 분식을 먹고 방금 저녁은 오리고기를 김치에 싸서 먹고 된장찌개를 밥 먹었네요. Ooh, telling us what you ate for lunch and dinner. Oh, that's your dinner? You have dinner so early. It's 5 p.m. My goodness. Perhaps you have lunch really early as well then. Now you're making me hungry with all these guk and 내장탕. I love all these foods, Korean food. Awesome stuff. Thank you for tuning in and giving us details on why you like your neighborhood. Jeju-do. I miss Jeju-do. I haven't been there in a while. So maybe soon, maybe this summer, I'll plan a trip there. Now, for your Busan, in this show in the second half, we've got the Busan Quiz Master coming up, as well as Haley coming in later on for her segment, Busan's Tale 꼬.꼬.부. So lots coming your way. We'll take a quick song break. This is Crazy by Gnarls Barkley.
I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions have an echo in so much space. And when you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly. And I hope that you are having the time of your life. But think twice. That's my only advice. Come on now, who do you think you are? Bless your soul. You really think you're in control? Well, I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. I think you're crazy. Just like me. My heroes had the heart to lose their lives out on the limb. And all I remember is thinking, I wanna be like them. Ever since I was little, it looked like fun. And there's no coincidence I've come. And I can die when I'm done. But maybe I'm crazy. Maybe you're crazy. Maybe we're crazy. Probably. Zooby zooby dooby bum para, zooby dooby baram bum. Zooby dooby zooby dooby 나치 큐파가 stupid man. Zooby dooby zooby dooby bum para.
It is time for Busan Quiz Master. Our audiences always look forward to this part because we've got a fresh, fun quiz lined up for you with a chance for you to win a prize if you participate. We've got a daily theme for each of these quizzes, including exploring Busan through numbers, guessing Busan by sound, or identifying Busan's tourist attractions through foreigners' reviews. It's all about, getting involved and having a blast with these quizzes. 매일매일 다른 퀴즈가 나가게 됩니다. 자, 그러면 오늘은 어떤 퀴즈를 제가 들고 왔을까요? Today's quiz is numbers in Busan. Who will come closest to guessing the right number? Okay, we'll be asking you to send us a specific number related to something, and if your guess is the closest to the actual number, you could win a prize. 네, 바로 근사치 퀴즈인데요. 저희가 제시하는 한 물건이나 대상에 대해서 가장 가까운 숫자를 맞추는 퀴즈입니다. 가장 정답에 가까운 숫자를 보내주신 분들 중 추첨을 통해서 선물을 드립니다. 그러면 인트로덕션을 좀 해보겠습니다. 요즘은 혼자 밥 먹고 혼자 영화 보고 혼자 여행 가는 것이 트렌드라고 할 만큼 혼자 할 수 있는 것들이 혼자 해도 재미있는 것들이 많아졌습니다. 더불어 혼자 살아가는 나홀로 가구도 계속해서 늘고 있다는 추세인데요. 오늘은 부산의 1인 가구 수는 얼마나 되는지 한번 같이 알아보도록 하겠습니다. So the proportion of single-person households continue to increase. The same is true in Busan. So based on the statistics for December 2023, how many single-person households are there in Busan? 네, 2023년 12월을 기준으로 해서 부산의 1인 가구는 총 몇 가구나 될지 여러분의 예상 수치를 보내주시면 됩니다. Tell us how many you think there are for the one or single-person household. Single-person households. How many single-person households are there in Busan as of December 2023? To give you a hint, it's more than 50,000 but less than a million. 5만보다 크고요. 100만보다 적습니다. That's our first hint. 제니님 saying, 또 아무 숫자나 던지기 해야 하나요? 너무 어려워요. So I give you a range. It's between 50,000 and 100,000. 100만 is 1 million. My bad. So 5만 is 50,000. So between 50,000 and 100만, a million. I keep getting that confused. Between 50,000 and million. And 숫자 2와 5가 들어갑니다. So there, of the numbers, you'll see the number 2 and a number 5 in the answer. Just guess. Just guess and send it to us, and I'll tell you if your answer is it needs to go up or down. That's what I'll tell you as a hint. 네, 힌트로 제가 그 정답을 못 맞추셨을 때 그거보다도 많은지 적은지 알려드리겠습니다. And then you can guess again. So keep guessing. We'll take a quick song break and we'll be right back. This is Overpass Graffiti by Ed Sheeran.
This is a dark parade, another rough patch to rain on. I know your friends may say this is a cause for celebration. Hip hip hooray, love. Photographs and sepia tones, so still the fire's barely fighting the cold. Alone, there are times when I can feel your ghost, just when I'm almost letting you go. The cards were stacked against us both. I will always love you for what it's worth. We'll never fade should walk away, but I just can't replace us or even erase us. The car stuck, the engine stalled, and both of us got caught out in the snow, alone. There were times when I forget the lows and think the highs were all that we'd ever known. The cards were stacked against us both. I will always love you for what it's worth. We'll never fade like graffiti on the overpass. I know time may change the way you think of us, but I remember the way we were. You were the first full stop, love that will never leave. Baby, you will never be lost on me. Lost on me. Baby, you will never be lost on me. Lost on me. Well, I will always love you for what it's worth. We'll never fade like graffiti on the overpass. I know time may change the way you think of us, but I remember the way we were. You were the first full stop, love that will never leave. Baby, you will never be lost on me. Lost on me. Graffiti on the overpass.
Zooby-dooby, zooby-dooby, bum-ba-da, zooby-dooby, ba-dum-bum. Zooby-dooby, zooby-dooby, 나 제일 빠가 stupid man.
Welcome back. We just listened to Overpass Graffiti by Ed Sheeran, and we are back with Busan Quiz Master. Numbers in Busan. That's the theme for today's Quiz Master. You have to guess a number closest to the correct answer. And the question was, based on the statistics for December 2023, how many single-person households are there in Busan? 네, 2023년 12월을 기준으로 해서 부산의 1인 가구는 총 몇 가구나 될지 여러분의 예상 수치를 보내주시면 됩니다. 힌트로서는 5만보다 많고 100만보다 적다고 했고요. 숫자 2와 5가 들어간다고 했습니다. So it's between 50,000 and less than a million. And the number 2 and 5 is in the answer. And with that said, we had a couple of people saying, 이선희님 saying 52만, 최희숙님 saying also 52만 명. And then 제니님 also saying 52만 명. 같은 사람인가요? 혹시 세 분 다? 어떻게 숫자 정답 게스가 세 개 다 똑같을 수 있죠? Slightly 의심됩니다. Slightly, but I think you're all three different people. Just coincidentally, three of the same answers. 근데 아니고요. 힌트 여기서 힌트를 드리자면 52만 명보다 작습니다. It's less than 52만, 520,000. Okay. 순님 saying 100만일까요? That's a good guess. Good try, but it's much less than a million. So it's gonna be less than 520,000. 제니님 saying 오랑이가 들어간다면서요. 우리 마음이 통했네요. That's right. That's probably the reason why. 수득쇼님 saying hi, good afternoon. 33만 가구 is your guess. No, it's more than that. So guess again. It's less than 52만, but more than 33만. Ooh, good guess, good guess. So between those two, ranges. 이제 더 좁혀졌죠. 순님 saying 950만. 그거보다 많이 작습니다. 950만보다 많이 작고요. 최승님 saying 25만 명. A little more than that. A little more than that. Actually, a lot more than that. And then 제리님 saying 51만 2천? Ooh, that's a good guess. Maybe that's the answer. I don't know. I have to double check with my Jaka here if that's the answer or not. Hey, 50만 2천? Ooh, those were good guesses. I don't know. But here, what I'll say is that it's around 50만 something. That's what I'll say. And leave it at that as we listen to another song and we'll be right back. So don't go anywhere. This is Ditto by New Jeans.
아침이 너무 멀어서 say it out 훌쩍 커버렸어 함께한 기억처럼 널 보는 내 마음은 어느새 여름 지난 가을 기다렸지 all this time Do you want somebody like I want somebody 날 보고 웃었지만 Do you think about me now yeah all the time yeah all the time I got no time to lose 내 길었던 하루 난 보고 싶어 라따따따 울린 심장 I got nothing to lose 널 좋아한다고 라따따따 울린 심장 So say it through Not just anybody 너를 상상했지 항상 다 있던 처음 느낌 그대로 난 기다렸지 All this time I got nothing to lose 널 좋아한다고 라따따따 울린 심장 But I don't want to stay in the middle like you a little Don't want no riddle 말해줘 say it back oh say it out 아침이 너무 멀어서 say it out I don't want to walk in this middle 다 아는 건 아니어도 바라던 대로 말해줘 say it back oh say it out I want you so say it out
Welcome back. We are in the middle of our Busan Quiz Master, and we've got more guesses very close to the answer. We've had 최승님 saying 52만 6천 명. Very good guesses. See, I like how I give you feedback on where the answer should be or it's around, and then you guys give me another guess. Sunnim also with the answer here saying 50만 2천. Ooh, very good guesses. So, the answer is 51만 2천. 맞습니다. 네. Woohoo. If you got it right or close to it, clap, 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 and pat yourself on the back. So that's based on the December 2023 statistics. 네, 부산 전체 가구는 144만 8천 가구. 그 중에 single person household 1인 가구는 based on December 2023 is 51만 2천입니다. Wow, so a lot of great guesses. Some were too big, and I had to narrow it down. And then eventually we got it narrowed down to like 300,000 to 3만 ish, you know. So yeah, good interaction. I liked it. We're gonna give away a coffee 2잔 coupon to 최희숙님. Congratulations! Woohoo! Yeah, good job. And we had Peng Soapanim once again searching on the internet for help. Next time try to just guess. 그냥 guess하고 guess하면서 guess놀이니까 just guess and see how close you are, and I'll tell you if you're close or hot or cold. How's that? I'll do hot and cold. 너무 차가워요. 너무 차가우면은 다시 guess해야 되고요. 핫하면은 이제 근처라는 뜻이죠. All right, so that was that. We have our next segment, Busan's Tale. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll go right into it.
Tune in to For Your Busan, featuring local news, events, and interviews with people in the community. Hosted by David Kim, airing from 4:05 to 6 p.m.
It is time for Busan Tales. So we're going to go through tales, the myths, the stories that have been hiding in the corners and streets of Busan, just begging to be told. And we have Haley in the studio.
The Tales archaeologist.
Yay.
Taleologist.
Miss Tales.
Yeah, Miss Tales. So I'm here with all the stories I bring to you every Monday. What a great way to open your week.
Exactly.
With tales after tales after tales. Well, welcome. This is 꼬.꼬.부. 꼬리에 꼬리를 무는 부산입니다.
Yeah, how are you doing?
Doing well. It's nice out.
It is.
Guys, it's spring, finally.
조금 chilly하잖아요.
Kind of.
It's a little bit chilly.
저희가 지금 딱 멋내다가 얼어 죽기 좋은. Yeah, I'm
그죠?
like freezing myself for the sake of fashion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, actually, if you guys are watching YouTube Live, I wore this. It's not warm enough.
맞죠.
Yeah, 밖에 아우터가 하나 있으면 딱인데.
맞죠.
I didn't wear a jacket on top of this, so it's a little bit chilly today.
I mean, David and I are on team willing to freeze for fashion. 멋내다 얼 팀이죠. Oh my, ooh.
And ice.
That I draw a firm line. 이제 여기서 선 긋는 거죠.
그렇죠.
Like, no, we can't. We're not on the same team.
네, 저는 얼주가.
Well, speaking of which. I know you are a big cafe person.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, on a weekend, you can find me and David separately, just going about finding the hottest Busan cafe places. And Busan is a great cafe scene, right?
For sure.
And we like to come back to the office on Monday and exchange that information.
그죠.
We've done that.
We've exchanged place. 어디가? 그러니까
거기 갔대?
맞아요.
I see.
So we're going to be talking about cafes today a
We
bit?
are, because it is the season of outings, outdoor activities. It's picnic season. It's flower season. Have you guys been flower hunting lately? There were the plum flowers, 매화 at 통도사, the temple in Yangsan. Apparently there are the tulips at Hwamyeong Ecological Park.
Yes.
Of course, we have the cherry blossoms coming up. The double petal cherry blossoms coming up after that. It never ends, all the way to the hydrangeas in the summer. I'm excited. But then you go, you do your hike, you do your outdoor trails and everything in the sun, and you always end up at a cafe.
For sure. You
Of
have
course.
to take a breather. You have to sit down and sip on something nice.
You have to get your caffeine fix and your sugar fix. You need your 카페인 충전, 당 충전. But how did and when did these cafes come about? For that, we travel. We travel far. Let's get the music ready to the 1950s. Good morning, Mr. Kim. 아이고 작가 선생님 잘 주무셨습니까?
Good morning, Mrs. Seo. I had a dream about my family I left behind. Oh, my poor mother. All alone in a small room in Seoul.
작고.
My wife and kids. I hope they made it okay to her family. You know, war is a really terrible thing. Politics are also a terrible thing.
Yes it is. You know, but with these communist forces after you, what can you do? You have to lie low. And you're so tall. Well, here's your breakfast. I mean, it's so simple. So we're trying to make ends meet until my husband's payday. 아이고 드실 게 없어가지고 어쩌지요?
Oh, no. This is plenty. Thank you. I'm going to try to get some writing done today.
Writing. Well, after my kids wake up, it's not gonna be so easy. 우리 아들이 좀 부산시러버가 해. You know, I have 5 young kids who run around all day. Oh wait, I heard about this place. 다방. Where your artistic types, the smart people, they gather and write. 그거 한번 가보시지.
다방. I've never heard of it, but I'll try to look for it. Who knows? Maybe I'll find some peace and quiet there. So we're going to be talking about 다방.
다방sin지. So this is a reimagining, and I took some creative liberties of a real-life novelist, Mr. Kim Dong-ri, 작가 양반, his time in Busan. So who is this? When is this? So the era, the 1950s. Of course, during the Korean War, Korea was divided into not only geographically, but ideologically. So Kim Dong-ri, he was the head of the right-wing group of writers, which meant that once the North Korean soldiers had infiltrated to the south, there was a target over his head.
Oh, no.
A literal target. And he was actually, the soldiers were after him, so that meant he was separated from his family. He had to send his wife and children to safety to her family in Chungcheong, all the way there. And then he left his mother in this cold, cramped room in Seoul, and he had to escape to Busan. And he would go basically then version of couch surfing, going from home to home of his friends' places. And then, of course, he felt extremely homesick and also guilty because, as you heard, I mean, this is war times. Everyone's just trying to, 입에 풀칠, make ends meet day by day. So he kind of had to make himself scarce during the daytime. So it's kind of funny. If you are crashing, David, at a friend's place and you had to go somewhere to maybe get some work done, where would you go?
My friend's house?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would have no choice.
But you have no choice. But you would, if you were kind of, in this like 눈치 area of like you weren't trying to stay at your friend's place during the daytime, you'd find a cafe, right? And that's what he did all the way in the 50s. So he found refuge in 밀다원, 다방, or coffee house in 광복동.
밀다원 is 다방.
Is the name of that cafe. It was the name of the coffee house.
Okay.
So, imagine the coffee houses, the original cafes of Florence, Italy, Paris, France, and across Europe. 밀다원 was a gathering place of intellectuals at the time. The Korean, the philosophers and writers. And this is what the literary critic Kim Byung-ik wrote about 밀다원 at the time. Could you do the honors and read it, please?
Okay, so this is right.
밀다원.
Okay, it says 밀다원 was a refuge for writers with nowhere to go, a place of contact for your colleagues that had fallen out of touch, office for writers with nowhere to work, and an exhibition center from time to time.
And that's exactly what it was, because if you were looking for someone and there were no phones, there was no internet, no email, you would go to 밀다원 and leave your number for the employees. So if someone comes looking for me, could you pass it along?
Oh,
yeah.
It's like a secret location for writers.
Exactly.
But
It's like a speakeasy, but with coffee.
Exactly. Okay. So Kim Dong-ri would write a novel based on this story?
Yeah, that's right. So he would write a novel based on his story titled The Age of 밀다원 or 밀다원 시대.
Okay, so This history of coffee and coffee houses in Korea goes back to the war era, but maybe before as well, right?
Absolutely, because one of the first people in Korea, or Joseon rather, to have had coffee was Emperor Gojong, Gojong Hwangjae, and who was apparently quite a big kabe, that was the name for coffee at the time,
Yes.
aficionado. He was a big fan of coffee. And the first coffee house in Incheon, and we go back to 1888, and that was quite a far away, in the country's first hotel that was called Daebul Hotel. And then you'd see coffee houses pop up across downtown areas like Myeongdong, Chungmuro, and even everyday people were joining coffee and getting the caffeine jolt as early as the 1910s.
I wonder if the coffee back then tasted as good as coffee now.
Well, I mean, that's a good question. You know,
Yeah.
were they doing the cream and sugar, you know, like tabang coffee?
Yeah,
I
were
mean, that is
they-
what it's called.
Was it drip coffee only? Do they have 'cause,
Probably.
you know, technology has advanced so much that we have espresso now, you know. And these espressos
But I
need a
can't
lot of
imagine in the Joseon era getting the espresso machines. 'Cause, I
Exactly.
mean, where were they getting the electricity? So probably
Exactly.
lots of filter coffee.
Yeah.
And then there was this place, of all places, Mexico Tabang. Mexico
Oh.
Tabang was the name of a coffee house in Seoul, and that was kind of the ground zero for writers, musicians, journalists, and actors. So the artistic types. And poet and writer Lee Sang was a particular fan of the Tabang culture, and he would actually design and even run his own coffee houses.
Wait, this Mexico Tabang, it's called
It
Mexico
has
Tabang?
nothing to do with like actual Mexico,
Oh.
but the coffee house was called Mexico Tabang.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why Mexico, I wonder?
Yeah, I'm
Right?
curious. Maybe
Maybe it
the
was-
owner got
Studied
to
there, or
yeah.
maybe the coffee beans were from
Oh,
Mexico,
maybe.
perhaps. I
That
mean, they're
makes
not a
sense.
huge coffee producer, but we have to guess.
All right, well, what about in Busan then?
All right. Well, the full history of coffee houses in Busan would go back to after liberation, so 1945 onward, with the first population boom as Busan the center of trade. So interestingly, coffee houses back then became not a very reputable place, a place of entertainment, nightlife.
Oh,
and
no.
this is what the papers at the time said about these tabangs. David, take it away.
The trade brokers, or broker, had a huge impact on the nightlife in Busan. Even compared to Seoul, Busan has a booming history of hostess bars, cafes, coffee houses, and pubs. This is a unique phenomenon brought on by liberation.
Ooh, the brokas, right? The
Brokas.
brokers. And it wasn't just that. I mean, what were these brokers doing? Going in and out. Coffee houses became the prime spot for smuggling.
Oh, no. So if I were to go back in time, say I drink coffee every single day, people would think, oh, this guy is a naughty boy.
I mean, with that jacket going on, you could definitely, and the hair. Oh,
Oh,
my
no.
God, David, you could definitely pass as a broka.
I'm a bad broker.
You kind of look like a nallari, not gonna
Oh,
lie.
no,
for,
don't.
For, you know, back then
I don't want to go
standards.
back in time then. 안 갈래요.
Right. So it was a land of lawlessness, you know, rife with day drinking because they just weren't drinking coffee. They were having something else, a little tipple in the coffee. By the way, day drinking back then, banned by the government.
Day drinking of coffee or day drinking
Day drinking
alcohol?
of alcohol.
Oh, okay, okay.
Right. So,
Yeah.
you know, there was alcohol, there was booze, smuggling, women, and, you know, even after the war, the smuggling culture persisted, even to the coffee itself.
Oh,
Because if
no.
you think about it, it was kind of the 보릿고개, the tough times period. Where would you get the coffee?
Oh, okay. Maybe from the soldiers.
Ding, 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 ding. That's right. So a lot of the coffee during the war and after the war came from the American rations. So coffee house owners would go to the so-called Yankee markets to buy coffee from the U.S. military bases. And this is a historical term, so I'm going to say it on public air. David, have you ever heard of, were you ever called 얌생이? I hope not.
Isn't that a bad word?
It's kind of a bad word, but I'm using it as a historical context. And this is where you're kind of, you're petty. You're trying to save money. You're pinching pennies, not in a good way.
Right.
Where you skim a little bit from other people's things. So you would skim a little bit from the military rations, and that's where the term came from that post-war culture of skimming things. And then this became a larger and larger operation with people just taking crates of coffee right from the military shipment.
Oh, no.
I mean, that's brave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get caught, you're in big trouble.
You are in big trouble. But then, I mean, this was a boom. So let's look at some numbers. The number of coffee houses in Busan in 1951, 47. But then by the end of 1951, 78. So it had almost doubled.
Right.
And then go forward a year, 99. So they were almost hitting 100 coffee houses. And this was a small city. So the reason was not only for entertainment, but also for livelihoods and contact, because it's kind of like what you would see at a 별다방. Nowadays, the 땡 bucks of these days. People, freelancers working, typing away at their laptops, maybe typewriters back then, looking for family and friends. And then, you would sign some papers, sign some contracts there.
I guess the good number of people who still go to cafe these days, it was like that long time ago too.
Exactly. Maybe it's just in our system. Like
Right.
you need work, you have work to do. Let's
You
go
go
to
to
a
a
cafe.
cafe.
Except you're lugging around a typewriter. Can you
Yeah.
imagine?
But I mean, we still kind of
We do.
lug around
We do.
laptop
Our
and
laptops. So yeah,
tablets.
we've evolved slightly.
a little bit, yeah. Okay, yeah. But of course, for many average people at the time, I'm sure it wasn't cheap to go there.
Absolutely not. And that's interestingly one of those things too, that's the same as it is now and before. I sometimes will eat a really cheap lunch, and just because I want a light lunch, and then go to a cafe and I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
My coffee bill definitely higher than my lunch bill.
Especially if it's just like a small little cup of drink.
Exactly. And it's
Yeah.
like this big. And I'm like, interesting. This is an
Yeah.
interesting life choice, Haley. What are you doing? But then that was the same back then, too. Of course, not many war refugees could afford to get coffee and, strike businesses there. So they would call the coffee house goers the luxury refugees, the 고급 피난민.
Oh, wow.
So public image became so bad that in 1952, the prime minister ordered for a crackdown against public officials who went to coffee houses. And one day's worth of crackdown in 1952 led to 191 government servants getting caught inside coffee houses.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, wow, a lot of people were caught.
Absolutely.
And I also heard that coffee houses were also a site of romance.
Romance in italics and quotations marks. Okay, so listeners of a certain age, you may remember the term 레지.
Lechi.
It refers to women who worked in coffee houses, and they kind of have a similar reputation as bar hostesses. So you would never really. It wasn't an honorific. Let's just say that it was a demeaning way to call the women who worked in these coffee houses. Apparently, I mean that does not sound like Korean. The name comes from register, like the cash register.
Oh.
Because they would work the cash registers, but then they would call them like 레지 아가씨. And I've definitely seen that in old dramas.
Oh, I see.
So who would join these jobs? Young women who are in difficult economic situations, who needed money quick. But then they would also face a lot of social backlash for that.
So you would never put this under your resume?
Not really. Not
Like,
really.
I worked as a Reggie for 3 years.
Ladies would never have that job. So, but then of course, love happens in the most unlikely of places.
Oh, no.
So there
okay.
was this Busan 보름달, the full moon coffee house incident where a female Reggie employee fell in love with her customer. They intended to get married, but because his family were so against it, she actually wound up taking her own life. And she left a note, "I'll wait for you in the other world."
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, so sad.
Yeah. Oh, that's like Romeo and Juliet.
It is like Romeo and Juliet. They were star-crossed lovers because, she was a victim of the time. But of course, the times are quite conservative.
Yeah.
Well, while we're on that tragic note, the story does end with a tragedy. Going back to 밀다원 would close down, but not because they wanted to. So we go to the suicide of a poet at 밀다원. Bring the story back to our novelist Kim Dong-ri. In The Age of Miltawon, he actually ends the novel with the death of this poet, Park Un-sam, who took his own life inside the coffee house.
My gosh.
And this was actually inspired by the real-life poet 정운삼, so he only changed the family name, who did take his own life at the coffee house. So what this shows you, what this tells you about that time was the vulnerable positions of artists and poets and writers because they were jumping from house to house, trying to make ends meet, and only seeking shelter and refuge at the coffee houses. So his death, 정운삼's death in real life, would lead to the shutdown of Miltawon. But of course, the coffee culture in Busan would live on. And on to the modern day cafes and even Busan as the city of coffee, the coffee city, right? So it's really interesting as we kind of went down this line of the tradition of coffee houses, tabangs to cafes. The essence is there. It's a place for budding romance. I mean, I've definitely seen my share of dates happening, blind dates and date dates happening in cafes. It's so fun when your table is right next to like a 소개팅 when they're
when
being
you're
set
hanging
up.
out with your friends and you see like a male and a female
who are
talking.
obviously like so awkwardly having their first meeting, and like when I'm working, I would just do this like open one ear and like what's happening?
Pause the music.
Is there a second date happening?
Right.
For romance, business deals, and busy working spaces for professionals. And that is a tradition that goes back decades and decades.
Very interesting story. Wow, I didn't know this part of Busan's history with regards, even in all of Korea, with regards to coffee. Thank you so much for telling us this.
Thank you for having me.
Wow, we'll have to see you next week for more Busan Tales.
Maybe with some coffee.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We'll do. Maybe after this show, I'll get my second round of coffee. That was Haley with us for Busan 꼬.부. We're going to take a quick song break. This is Somewhere Over the Rainbow. We'll be right back.
Way the dreams that you dare to. Why, oh why can't I?
Welcome back. That was Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Israel is Kamakawiwoole. You're listening to For Your Busan, and we'll have to slowly wrap things up for today's show. Thank you all for tuning in today. We've had Sunim saying 제가 좋아하는 노래 나왔네요. Hoo-hoo. A lot of people like that song. Don't we all? 최숙님 saying, I can't wait for cherry blossoms. And study님 also saying, 숫자 개수 레인지가 넓어서 제일 어려운 퀴즈인 듯해요. I guess it is one of the harder quiz themes for the week here at For Your Busan because you have to guess a random number between a certain range, given a certain range, I mean. So it's one of those tougher quizzes. We have a quiz segment every single day. So tomorrow, a different theme quiz for you to participate and give in your guesses or take a guess at it. But yeah, we're going to have to wrap things up. Thank you all for tuning in and see you tomorrow for our Tuesday show. The For Your Busan was produced by Jang Hyun-jun, written by Hong Kyung-hwa, and hosted by me, David Kim. The last song is 싸구려 커피 by Jang Gi-ha. See you later, alligator.
눅눅한 비닐 장판에 발바닥이 쩍 달라붙었다 떨어진다. 이제는 아무렇지